Good morning, guys. Welcome to our phonics lesson. We are still learning about blends this week. We are just about done, though, with the last kind of blend that we're going to talk about. So remember, a blend is when you blend two consonants together and it makes a new sound. Like, I can blend C and L together to make that cl, cl, cl sound. L was one of the letters that I could blend with other consonants to make blends. And there were lots of letters, remember, that I could blend with the L. Fix these to make them a little bit bigger. There we go. I could blend the P with it to make the pl sound. I can blend the F to make the fl sound. I could I keep wanting to say mix. I could blend the G to make the gl sound, the C to make the cl sound, the B to make the bl sound, and then you could even blend S with it to make a sl sound. So good. Remember, when you blend, you're just blending those sounds together kind of fast and saying them at the same time, and they count as just one sound. We learned about R blends the next day, where you could blend certain letters with R. That one, there we go. You could blend F and R together, like friend even. You could do G and R, make that gr sound. T and R to make the tr sound. You could do D and R to make the dr sound. That one was kind of the tricky one. I'm going to leave it over here. P and R to make the pr sound, like proud. C and R can make the cr sound. And B and R can make the br sound. And then remember, I said that DR is kind of tricky. It makes that dr, and it kind of sounds like a J. But remember, dr, like draw, and drew, those would be DR. And then yesterday we talked about the S blends, and we talked about how S blends could be anywhere in the word. They could be at the beginning, they could be at the end, they could even be in the middle sometimes. I've seen S blends in the middle of a word. And we talked about how even S can blend with more than one letter. Like when you put S with Q and U, you make squat, like squirrel in our story. Yep. Or you could mix the S with CR and make scr, like scream. Or S and TR to make stra, like stray, or stream. And there were lots of other letters that you could mix with S, of course. You could make the sk sound, and the sn sound, and the sp sound, and the st sound, and the sk sound again, and the sm sound. Very good. Those were just some of the blends that we have already talked about. So let's get into the last kind of blend. And the last kind of blend are called final blends, because final means the end. And all of these blends are at the end of a word. Yep, they're at the end of a word. So like in the word milk, do you see the blend at the end of the word? Very good. The L and the K blend together to make the milk. And it's kind of just one sound, ilk. You kind of do it all together as one sound. And desk, it has a blend at the end. The S and the K blend together to make desk. And then there's another SK blend, mask. Good. The S and K blend together at the end. You've got N and K could blend together. Sink. You almost don't hear the N, do you? I'm sorry, guys. One of the kids are messaging me. I'll get to them in just a second. So there's sink and drink. They both have NK. And you almost, like I said, it's hard to hear the N. Sink, drink, but it's there. Tent is another one. Swing has that NG. You kind of don't even hear the N and the G together. It kind of makes a new sound. Swing. It's kind of hard to say, isn't it? And then there's ND in hand. Those are all final blends at the end of a word. And I also even noticed that some of the words up here, blend has a final blend. And end also, it has the same. It has the ND like in hand. So those are just blends at the end of a word. And they're not any of the ones we've already talked about. They're different ones. So you're going to do a practice page real quick to practice blends at the end of a word. All right, let's look at our spelling words real quick too, because some of our spelling words have blends. There they are. Now I know we've talked about this lots already this week about how these don't have blends, they're review words. These are the words that have blends. And we know that plans has the PL blend. Clap had a CL blend, so they have L blends. We also had grass and crack and trips that had R blends because it's something that mixes with R or blends with R. And we found S blends yesterday, like still and west. And even mask is kind of a S blend, even though it's at the end, like we talked about. And then that leaves us with milk and belt that have blends at the end. Milk has LK and belt has LT. So those are just different blends that we hadn't talked about that might be at the end of a word. All right, you're going to practice a page now on final blends. All the words are going to have a blend at the end of the word. All right, good luck sounding those words out and spelling them correctly. Bye, guys.